the danger with entertainment is, of course, detaching time and referring to space as if it's a picture. And I think, quality of good entertainment is, of course, implementation of time into a kind of a sequential sort of type of experience. So this means that if I succeed, should I say, adding the duration of the experience into the experience, and not as a kind of a secondary trail that people have to kind of conceptually think about, then it's successful, and then, you know, entertainment or the kind of excitement can, or the pleasure can carry out consequences. This is what waves, to some extent, are. You know, they are consequences of the way you move through the space. So there's this kind of play about. There's this play about, do you actually create the space, or does the space, to some extent at least, also create you? And who is looking at who? Is the, you know, is the wave, which is obviously a timely issue anyway. A wave without time is not a wave, you can say. But is the wave, to some extent, also constituting your understanding the space? No wave, you might not have a time, and you then, instead of a space, or instead of a depth, a kind of dimensional question, you might have a picture of a space.
That's right, and so it doesn't just end up being a style, or playing on the museum's vanity.
Yes. The point is that also the museums are not just standing still as kind of objective autonomous shells. They are involved in a kind of, you know, more or less market-based economy of experiences. They are selling experience, and they are a part of, you know, a much bigger sort of global trend called experience economy of some sort. And the responsibility in that question is, how does one then actually within that frame succeed communicating art in a way so it actually raises some serious questions.
Rather than being the entertainment that I was suggesting.
Exactly, yes.
Your work might be seen as.
And that's always my fear, to end up just, you know, entertaining and become affirmative and sort of re-institutionalize the already very rigid and conservative and static idea of time and space and blah, 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 that museums, you know, to the greatest to a greater extent is still doing. And I don't know if I am successful or not, but the question we started out with, how does one actually put time back into space, is to some extent also about giving back people the notion of consequences, having consequences. I have consequences.
It's cause and effect.
Yes, and the fact that you might have an impact on the society in which you live is such an attractive idea, I think. And of course, a large portion of the experience economy, if we call it that, is not necessarily supporting that idea, because it's not necessarily the most profitable one. And that's why I, of course, would like to see the subversive, or the kind of introspective, or the critical, or the kind of, you know, the self-reflexive potential that looking at the piece and like you described. I would like to see that being put in the foreground by the institution which kind of holds the frame of my piece.